Hey, did y'all know that we're going to be in Indianapolis February 2nd through the 4th? Well, it don't matter if you didn't know it, because you do know it now. You know to get them tickets at WellREDcomedy.com. We're going to be at the brand new Helium there in Indianapolis, February 2nd through the 4th. Also, April 29th, Little Rock, Arkansas. May 20th, Knoxville, Tennessee. May 21st through the 22nd, Asheville, North Carolina. And y'all all know that we're going to be back at Zany's for Christmas. The tickets aren't available yet, but we're going to be there December 14th through the 16th. And go ahead and mark those dates off. You know those shows always sell out. They're a wild time. They're homecoming shows. They're great. Also, I saved this one for last, even though chronologically it doesn't make sense. April 6th through the 8th, the boys, Trae and Drew, are going to be in Portland. I am not going to be able to make that show because that is right around the time that my baby is supposed to pop out. And I thought, as much as I want to see my friends in Portland, and as much as I love coming to Portland, which I do, it probably would put me on the bad side of things if I missed the birth of my child. I'm certain that y'all understand. So WellREDcomedy.com to grab those tickets. And also the Skewniverse, as always, is expanding. I don't know if you know this, but Drew, Carmen Morales, and DJ Lewis have a brand new podcast called Gravy Baby. I'm pretty sure that Drew dropped an episode here on the WellRED feed, but go subscribe to that, download, like, leave 5 stars. As you know, Trae and Smart Mark AG have the weekly skews on Tuesdays. It's a very, very good time. Me and Trae also have Puttin On Airs. If you don't know what Puttin On Airs is, you probably hadn't been listening to this podcast too intently, but that is a podcast where me and Trae, two hillbilly dum-dums, talk about fancy people and their culture, the royals. What are they up to? We take the piss out of them. We have a blast. There's history lessons. It has been called Two Bears, One Cave meets Drunk History, and also The Redneck Dollop. And I am very, very honored for both of those monikers. As for me, speaking of baby, as y'all know, I'm trying not to tour too awful much because I want to be there for the birth of my kid and try to stay home and help out for at least a little while. So I'm doing a bunch of bonus stuff over at parttimefunnyman.com. I'm doing bonus essays, bonus podcasts, bonus videos. I write stupid poetry. There's a little something for everybody, so long as everybody likes me, at least a little bit. It's $5 a month, or if you cannot afford it, that's totally cool. Just email buttercreamcorey@gmail.com and I'll take care of you, no questions asked. I do appreciate your money, but I don't want anybody to not get a thing just because it is $5. And I know a lot of people would say, $5, that ain't nothing. Well, in these days, $5 is sometimes the make or break for some people, and I understand that. So I will hook you up. This episode is a little bit different. The boy, Trae, is traveling. Drew's up to something. And I am, as soon as I hit stop on this recording here, I'm leaving to fly to Iowa because my wife's grandpa passed away, and I got to do that. So we are actually throwing up a throwback episode of the WellRED podcast. And I asked the boys, I said, hey, we're going to have to do this week. We've never done it. Which one should I do? And at random, Trae said, the one where we talked about dolphins jacking off. And I was like, okay, we can do that. And don't be confused, because I know we talked about it on last week's too, but this was the original source of that, talking about dolphins jacking off. Enjoy it. I've babbled on too much. Here's the WellRED podcast, Throwback, dolphins jacking off. Love y'all. Skew.
Well,
fun fact, I guess, but it's more like a wild thing that I've been meaning to bring up on here for weeks. It's not really related to anything. It's just something I want to talk about. Corey, we went over this a little bit ago before we started.
Can you hear that, Trae?
You didn't hear it before we started recording.
We brought this up.
I asked him about all that. He says, according to him, our listeners right now don't know what the hell me and you were talking about. Because Corey says only we can hear the birds and the cars and all that
and
stuff. And
99% of the time, I would prefer that because obviously you don't want background noise. But I kind of wish a trailer just crashed into a golf cart. That is definitely what happened.
Now that one was super. That one was super loud. That one may get picked up on here.
What was that? And are you at a bird conservatory right now? Are you just hanging out with a bird? It sounds like the bird is in your kitchen.
No, I'm on my front porch. This is actually pretty funny. I'm on my front porch shirtless getting a tan because the sun is just right perfect. So I'm doing this podcast. Do I tan?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll burn first, but then it'll turn into a tan.
Oh, you remember when he was working with the tanning bed for a while? Or was it spray tans even?
It was spray tans.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, all right. It was a tanning bed, though, right?
Yeah,
He had
I
go tan, which is common, and we called it bronzer.
You're right. Yeah. Okay.
Is that right,
yeah.
Corey?
I mean, I was going to answer the first thing you asked me, but if y'all want to keep doing this, that's okay. I'm on that was a trailer that hit a pothole in front of my house. You were right. It was a trailer, and it very well may have had a golf cart on the back of it, but it almost blew a tire off in a pothole. That's what happened.
But about the tanning bed.
Yeah, I've been. I like to get my glow on.
Regimen for a while.
There was
Wasn't
a regimen,
there a period of
and
time
there was
where you had like a tanning regimen going on.
And part of that regimen was some kind of lotion type product.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you use bronze. Yeah, I did that so I wouldn't get sunburned. I put a bronzer on. I went there and get my glow on. It's a fucking, heat therapy, dog. It feels good. I'll fucking go tomorrow.
I'm on do it.
Okay, tell me I won't.
You won't do it.
No, I'm on my, but as of right now, I don't have to because the way the sun be at my house and my porch, and I got this rocking chair so I can kind of angle myself proper. I'm out. I'm sweating like a fucking Smithfield pig right now on my front porch.
What's that? Bayer Mayoff? What do you guys always say?
Bader Meinhof.
Oh, Bader Meinhof. Yeah.
Someone called Nick DiPaolo a Smithfield pig on Twitter. That said he looked like a Smithfield pig on Twitter, and I had never heard that in my life. What is the Smithfield pig?
Well, it's a company of ham. Our buddy, that we hang out with in Kansas City, my buddy Jared's uncle, he be working for Smithfield.
Yeah,
hams.
number one pork man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean,
Benton's bacon. Only thing I ever heard reference growing up, and it was always whatever the phrasing was. It was always to allude to high class or quality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tastier than Benton's pigs.
I actually
if you say a Smithfield pig. Like, what is that? Does that just mean like a?
Is that like the shittiest pig?
Yeah, or is it the most choice pig?
I would normally say honey baked ham because that's funny, but for some reason, Smithfield pig just came to my mind, and that's weird because I guess that is a Bader Meinhof-y thing.
Okay.
Well, what? Why is it sweating? Because they're about to get killed.
I just meant it's glistening.
Glistening.
You just said
No. The Nick DiPaolo thing.
I know
was
that.
He looks sweaty as a Smithfield pig.
I know that. I'm saying. I think what Corey's saying right now is he's. Correct me if I'm wrong, Corey. Otherwise unaware of that idiom, and it's just a thing he said, which makes this weird for him. Is that what you're saying, Corey?
Yeah, I mean, I normally just say sweating like a pig. Or roasting like a pig, and I just happened to say Smithfield pig. Now, that being said, I've been reading a bunch of the Nick DiPaolo shit today. I don't think that I saw that, at all, but that may well could have happened.
Just a comment on Twitter, I saw it. Oh, you're saying you don't think that's what's seeped into you?
I really don't, because I don't think I've read that.
Without getting into...
Do pigs sweat? Sweaty pig is a very...
Okay,
phrase,
first off, also...
Fucking mud?
I meant it like Smithfield ham. I meant it because they're succulent, like they're all in the pictures. They look like they're sweating. They're shiny. That's what I meant, and I'm very sorry that I said it.
Well, I don't know why you're sorry. I'm saying though, sweaty as a pig or a big sweaty pig is a very common phrase.
Yeah, sweating like a hog.
And I'm now wondering if pigs even fucking sweat.
Because dogs don't.
Dogs don't. A lot of animals don't. I'm pretty sure. And also, like you said, Drew, isn't that why they fuck with the
mud? Well, and sunburn. They sunburn. They bronze.
They do.
But ended up.
Well, here's a nice change of subject. We've spoken in our book and a lot about blue laws and how fucking stupid they are. We were in Salt Lake City. If you don't know what a blue law is, it's where there's like a special alcohol rule for a certain area. Like the most prime example, the most ridiculous one is that Jack Daniel's whiskey is made in an area where you cannot buy whiskey. Yeah. So in order to consume it, if you go to the Jack Daniel's distillery on a tour, they drive you a mile away from the tour they just gave you to a tasting room that's outside of a certain city or county limit, and then you get to drink it there. There's also interesting things, though, because of them, like county line bars, like where we're from. If you're not inside the city limits, you take a bar, you move it over next to the county line, and everybody knows you go to the county line bar. That's where, you better be ready to fucking fight.
Yeah, we got one of them. I went there the other day.
When I went to college in Cookeville, Tennessee, Putnam County, the county it's in, was dry county. Or, well, they had liquor by the drink, but you couldn't have liquor stores, so you had to drive to Jackson County to go to the liquor store. And there was the liquor store closest to Putnam County and Jackson County. I bet they made a fucking killing. And
Guaranteed.
At some point in the last decade, that law changed, and now there's liquor stores all over Cookeville, and that one in Jackson County closed down in like less than 3 months after that happened. Or whatever. Just took them straight out.
Guaranteed. So we were in Salt Lake City this weekend. Salt Lake City has this thing where, is it all beer or just draft beer?
Dude,
It's just draft beer.
It's just draft beer.
It's just draft beer, and I know because I saw a beer menu and they had all the bottles and they had the percents beside them.
You can't have draft beer over 3% alcohol. Is that right?
Yep.
What? And blue laws are stupid. Not letting grown-ups drink alcohol is dumb as fuck. You're just forcing people to drive further. They're going to drive drunk. Kids are going to play that game we used to play, Mad Dog 2020 Challenge. You go there, you buy whatever liquor you want. Everyone gets a Mad Dog. You chug it on the way home. You got 15 minutes to get it done, including the driver. Like, come on. That's dangerous. But that aside from them being regular stupid, what are you doing with what is the goal with 3% beer? Like,
to get you to fucking buy shots?
Do they want everyone to be fat? Mormons are a fit people.
They are.
Yeah, well, but they don't, they're
not allowed to have any.
They don't drink at all.
Well,
so
also, man, Utah, we live in a world, there's meth. You just walk down the street, you see some people, some homeless people. Some of the homeless people are on meth. You can tell. Like, that dude's on meth, but yeah, we better make sure he gets only 3% beer. Otherwise, what the fuck? It's dumb.
I agree that Utah's are particularly egregious, but all of those blue laws are just, as far as I'm concerned, they seem arbitrary and ridiculous. Like,
I completely agree. But when you're talking about, like, we don't sell liquor inside our city limits, I'm like, man, liquor gets people drunk quicker. There's all these religious things. None of that is right. It's all stupid, but I can connect it to something logically that I disagree with fundamentally. I can't connect 3% alcohol to anything because you can just buy it in a bottle.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Well, what about I know that the answer, I assume, is it's the Lord's Day, but a very common one is Sundays. You can't buy anything or you can't buy liquor on a Sunday, or you can't buy anything on a Sunday, depending on the county or whatever. And I can connect
what is that?
Right. And the connection is that's the Lord's Day. No. And that's
the only thing I can come up with is that law was passed when draft beer was about all you could get. Like, we're talking literally the fucking 1890s.
Isn't that how most of these are? They're like archaic and left over from forever ago.
Yes. And somehow back then it helped. It helped them achieve their goal of people not having a good fucking time. Because now it's just not. You're just tricking me. I'm a fucking tourist. I like draft beer. I show up, I order one. I'm halfway through 4. I don't feel anything, which is why I fucking came to your goddamn bar, because we're in the middle of fucking Mormon country and I've been bored for 5 straight fucking hours. At least put a sign up. Hey, if you're not an asshole, order bottled beer. Then I'll know.
As far as that goes, I feel like I have been told
by our fans
repeatedly by like servers and bartenders and stuff that'll just
oh, really?
I feel like that's definitely, I know the last time I was in the airport, I was, heard the conversation about that from the bartender or whatever.
As usual, fucking bartenders out here doing the Lord's work.
Right.
Well, when I was at the hotel bar waiting on Trae, I went to the bartender. The first thing he said to me was, he's like, "Hey, just to let you know, you can drink, but you're gonna have to at least order some food." And I was like, okay. And so I just like, I'm not gonna eat anything. He goes, all right, well, the cheapest thing is chips and salsa, so just get that. And I'm like, y'all fucking know I'm not even eating it, but I have to fucking order it just to have a beer. Like, this is ridiculous.
But I can connect that to like a danger thing. Isn't it supposedly like way more dangerous to drink on an empty stomach?
Oh, it is, but if that was the case, the law would be I had to eat it. They don't say you have to eat it. They just say you have to order it. They'd fucking throw it away for you right in front of your face.
I don't know how. Yeah, but that's just because they're just doing what they have to do to be
Right.
legal.
There's another one that I encountered on one of our trips to Salt Lake City. You guys were up in one of the rooms about to start podcasting. I was in the lobby bar, and I wanted to get a drink to take up to the room for the podcast for all of us, which is like very common thing. It's never most any hotel bar. Can I take it to the room? Yeah, it's fine. And I asked them that, and they were like, well, you can have it in the room, but you can't take it.
Right. That poor girl had to bring it up there.
She had to come with me to the room holding the drinks on a tray. And when I got into the room, I could take them from her.
Right.
But I was not allowed to carry them up there.
And was it me or did she seem to feel really uncomfortable about it?
I mean, I'm sure a lot of them that work in that industry realize how stupid it all is. And they feel silly when they have to talk to tourists and stuff about
She was extra uncomfortable because we were on the air. If you're an avid podcast listener, that happened on the podcast in Salt Lake City. She brought it in.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we were like, hey, what's up? We're on a podcast. You want to talk? And she was like, no, you fucking idiot. I hate this. I live in Salt Lake City, and I have to do this dumb shit.
That's verbatim what she said.
What she said.
So, anyways, I got to get – this is just going to be –
You got to get it off your chest?
It's not getting it off my chest. It's just seriously, I have thought about bringing this up on the podcast, and it's not that big of a thing, but for so long, and I just end up never doing it, so I'm just going to say it now.
I have a feather either me or Corey's about to feel really defensive.
I guarantee you it's fucking me. Oh, never mind.
No, it's a prehistoric thing, but it's not about feathers.
You are so pretentious now to me as a caricature. I thought you were just going to say Prius. It's a Prius thing.
You wouldn't understand.
You wouldn't get it.
Prius thing.
Idiot.
There was have you ever heard of? And I guarantee I'm butchering this pronunciation. Alorgasali.
That's a Game of Thrones character.
I was about to say that sounds like somebody from fucking Karth.
Archaeological site in Kenya, where they uncovered a shitload of prehistoric hand axes, like early human tools.
Okay.
But a fuck ton of them, like way more than ever found anywhere else. And also evidence of like butchery sites, like where
cutting up animals?
Yeah, like butchering mammoths and butchering hyenas and whatever other animals around there at the time.
I bet a mammoth steak would be good.
And a lot of the hand axes they found were made from rocks that came from a quarry they found, like their version of a quarry, like 10 miles away or whatever.
Right.
So they were transported back to this, but the time frame I'm talking about was between 1.2 million BC and like 400,000 BC. So these were not people. These were more like Homo erectus or whatever. They were like, monkey people basically. But they had essentially like an early tool factory that existed in the same place.
It's monkeys with tool factories?
Yes, for like 800,000 years.
Did you just hear a monkey?
No, it's just a dog or something.
Corey's at the zoo.
Yeah.
All right.
Nah, it was a bird.
800,000 years.
So for nearly a million years, they had tools. They was butchering mammoths.
And Jesus Christ was, 2000. What recorded human history is what, like 5,000-6,000 years, something like that.
Yeah.
So
sure.
10.
I have no idea.
800.
It's like 6,000.
So like for all of recorded human history times 100 or more. This one site existed for the same purpose in the same place.
But they wasn't talking, we don't think.
Right, but they were like had some level of coordination.
Bro, I feel like they was talking in some way, right?
I know that's what I'm
saying. Means go the fuck over there and get me an axe, goddammit. I'm trying to cut up this woolly mammoth.
Right, there was some level of coordination, but and also it seems like this was like known as a place.
Yeah, to go get the meat.
Where you go get the meat or the tools
That's
or whatever.
having a barbecue party.
A million years ago.
I will say,
monkey people.
I've seen Corey Forrester drunk at a barbecue and he couldn't talk at all and he still got around.
Still got his meat. But like,
I bet they talk.
But like, is that not just wild?
It's wild as hell.
To
and
think about.
Here's what the bias is. I think I've always thought this, and this isn't my fucking theory. I've heard scientists argue about this, like on History Channel and shit. Like they're like all these theories about when spoken word started, and there's a lot of scientists who are like, no, it was way before then. Like it took so long to figure out written language, but
right.
Like, and dude, there's arguments that some animals can do that. I mean, we fucking taught chimps sign language and shit.
I mean, isn't it almost accepted that like whales communicate? Yeah. And I mean, whale songs, but like if they're communicating on some level, how is that not like a type of language or whatever?
I can't remember his name. It was Marty something. The show I did in LA last week, this kid had a joke about whale eyes.
Whale eyes?
He's like, does it not bother any of you guys how small their eyes are? And I can't remember the whole joke, but it was so fucking funny that I went and talked to him afterwards. And then me and him started talking about sonar. That's why their eyes are so small. A whale's eye is barely bigger than mine and yours, but they're the size of a football. The reason why is they don't need them because they use sonar, which is what we was just talking about. That's what made me think of it. But the crux of the joke was just like, well, these whales know that we don't.
Dude, whales are wild too because they were on land and went back into the water.
What?
Yeah.
Is he fucking with me, Corey?
What? I think he's fucking with me.
First of all life,
was they just a slug?
All life we know came out of the water.
Yes.
Whatever whales are, they had come out of the water, developed lungs, breathed air and all that, and then they went back into the water. Whales and dolphins too. They evolved like
no, dolphins is aliens.
Sounds like them motherfuckers saw the writing on the wall a long time ago.
Yeah, but now our oceans are turning to acid or acidic, or I don't fucking know. Listen, wait a minute. Are you sure?
I'm pretty goddamn sure.
Was they tiny, and then when they went back to water 1,000,000 years later, they was huge? Or was they just a big-ass slug sliggering around?
Slug sliggering around. Ahead for me. Look at slug sliggering.
Hippopotamuses likely evolved from a group of Anthropotherus, whatever, about 15 million years ago. The first whales evolved 50 million years ago. The ancestor of both of these groups was terrestrial. So hippos and whales share a common ancestor that was a terrestrial mammal.
Do you remember that mermaid special on Animal Planet?
Wasn't that like a joke?
It was
like a hoax.
It was. It was. I don't know if it was. I don't know if they really meant it to be a hoax. They did it as if mermaids were real.
Yeah, I know. I think that was like a
and
thing
that
they did on
was
purpose.
A big part of it. Was that whoever the mermaid's ancestor was a mammal that went on land and then went back into the water, 50 million years ago or whatever. Sea apes. That was the whole thing. Anyway,
hold on.
Bob Hansen.
Is this still whale stuff?
It's still animal stuff.
Okay. All right, go for it.
Bob Hansen has a joke. You're talking about them monkeys and their tools. The joke was, he's talking about them chimps and teaching them sign language. He had a few jokes. Then he goes, I saw the other day, they're teaching them how to lie and how to hide weapons. Those are our best fucking tricks. Why are we teaching them how to... Fucking love that joke.
I love old Bob.
Y'all know about that woman that ended up jacking that dolphin off for years, and then when she had to quit jacking it off, it killed itself?
Yeah.
So I did hear about I did hear about this dolphin jacker offer woman, but not enough. Please go on.
The dolphin killed itself
after she left it. Yeah, it killed itself in grief, I think. But basically,
how did it kill? How did it kill itself? Because that's
dolphins kill itself. This is how they kill them. This is like a thing that dolphins do. They commit suicide, and all they do,
dude. I look up animal suicide once a month.
They just like sink. They stop. They have to come up to breathe air. They just don't do that again. They just
right.
They just drown themselves.
But they don't ever dive into a boat or anything.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe
they're not fucking dramatic. They're better than us.
I saw one of them dive in front of a torpedo to save Batman once on the old TV
They're
show.
better than us.
Yeah,
dolphins are better than us.
Man, that just more proof that dolphins are fucking shows. My God.
I used to have a joke about dolphin rape. And you're not supposed to joke about rape, but that was sort of the crux of the joke, was that it's the only rape you're allowed to laugh at, even though it's horrific. Like, sincerely, if your buddy was like, oh, man, I got raped by a dolphin last weekend, you would just laugh at first because you just wouldn't process what actually happened. You would just hear
that sentence
that's
is so funny.
Fucking funny sentence.
Right. They're wild. They be raping.
I
You
know.
ever seen one they like dolphin having sex with like a severed fish's head?
They also
Doesn't matter.
will fuck not just a severed head, they'll fuck our buddy's head that's still alive.
Yeah, like
Put
a
it in the
blowhole.
blowhole?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. I've seen
was
pictures
like-
of them fucking their buddies' heads, and their buddy was just like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, well, I feel like that's hazing. That's how you get in the dolphin frat. You gotta let your buddy
Yeah.
fuck your blowhole.
I mean, I
using
think
a
it hits
frat.
for them.
That's
Yeah.
equivalent, right?
Yeah. You nailed it. I wanted to succinctly describe this dolphin jacker offer, but like,
How could you?
right. It's
Even
a long,
you, the
it's a
great
long-
orator Trae Crowder, could not accomplish that.
It's a long story.
Yeah, she deserves many volumes. The Iliad couldn't capture the dolphin jacker offer.
My God.
Man, I'm trying to get the gist of what they were trying to,
You said jizz.
what they were trying to do, because it was a NASA funded study.
Do
like
what
she
now?
was jacking
Yeah.
it off and getting the sperm to make other dolphins. Okay.
No. It was a NASA funded study in the 60s for building an interspecies communication bridge. So like,
We gotta reach the dolphins. How do we do it?
the-
Get Jane in here. Jane.
listen, the lady's last name was Lovett. Lovett was left alone
Fuck you. Love It Was Left Alone.
Lovett was
This is a
left
country
alone.
song.
to pursue
Gypsy Speedboat.
Love it
Love it
or
was-
leave it. Parentheses. Jack that dolphin off, Debbie.
Love It Was Left Alone.
to pursue the dream of teaching dolphins to speak English. So that's what they thought they were doing. And in order to accomplish
Is that why I couldn't learn Spanish in high school? Miss Garcia wasn't jacking nobody off.
in order to accomplish that, she lived with this dolphin. His name was Peter. Yeah, I know.
I just literally spit water everywhere.
The only thing Peter says is just Jesus fucking Christ on repeat.
She lived with this dolphin basically around the clock, and it's like enclosure and stuff. Like she had like, she wasn't like in a scuba suit living underwater, but it was like a big pool, and she also lived in that same
No
room.
wonder
She
he
was with
killed
him all the
himself. It
time.
wasn't just about the sex. He loved her.
I know, that's what I'm saying. And
He loved you.
He loved you, you
Love it.
fucking whore.
You fucking.
dolphins get sexual urges. Peter had plenty of thoughts along those lines. He started out, he would rub himself on my knee or my foot or my hand. At first, I would put him downstairs with female dolphins, but transporting Peter proved so disruptive to the lesson that, faced with his frequent arousals, it just seemed easier for Lovett to relieve his urges herself manually. I allowed that because I wasn't uncomfortable with it as long as it wasn't rough. It was just become part of what was going on, like an itch. Get rid of it, you scratch it, you move on. That's how it worked out. It wasn't private. People could observe it.
That's the best part. That's Peter's favorite part. What's what I do to her?
Innocent as they were, Lovett's sexual encounters with Peter would ultimately overshadow the whole experiment.
You don't say.
Do you think? Oh my God. Anyway, so yeah, that's how it happened. She ended up jacking this dolphin off. When the study got defunded and was over and she had to leave, he was so stricken with grief that he killed himself.
How many
That is insane.
That is
dudes
so goddamn funny.
who want to fuck dolphins when they first read about that showed up down there? Yeah, man, I'm just here to do the science. Just got to
Yeah.
scratch this it. You know what I mean?
The first place it got published on like a wide scale, I just said the sexual part overtook the rest of the study. That's because it first got published in Hustler magazine, not like scientifically published. Somebody at Hustler found out about this lady jacking a dolphin off. Like, oh, we got to tell the world this shit. And they did.
I thought, a lady who was weird was jacking this dolphin off,
Yeah.
and that was her pet and her lover, and she was really lonely because Bill left her and all that. And that was weird. That's a weird story. It's happened in Florida numerous times.
Yeah,
I'm certain.
it's actually won an Oscar.
And then
It's a pretty goddamn good story.
what really
Good movie.
happened is weirder.
Yeah.
Our greatest governmental scientific group financed a dolphin getting its dick jacked off
This
in
woman
an
wrote.
attempt to teach dolphins how to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like a shitty short story in like high school English class.
Yeah.
This woman wrote.
There's always like that one kid who's really into sci-fi, but he just ain't quite there, you know? And the end of it, the Dolphin Army rapes America or whatever because he ends up being an alt-right kid. But like, NASA funded dolphin jack-offs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you?
Fucking
What do
make
you?
America great again. We're already fucking great.
I would love to read what that it says on that woman's resume right now. Like when she goes, to get. So, what was your last job like? Unlike anything you've ever seen before, I fucking guarantee you that.
So, yeah, it's I don't know where to go from dolphin masturbation, but
Can you
at some
have
point,
consensual sex with a dolphin?
No.
It sounds
That's
like
what
it.
I'm saying. Fucking, he couldn't consent. She hadn't taught him the word yes yet. Maybe that was the first word she taught him.
I think he was clearly into it.
How can we know, Trey?
You could see it in their
Maybe
eyes, dude.
taught
Have you
him
ever
him.
seen a dolphin
I think he
coming?
taught him to nod.
I think he was coming up, rubbing on her, getting his dolphin dick hard.
Getting his dolphin dick.
That's pretty.
Stand back, you're swimming kind of close.
Have you ever seen a dolphin's dick?
No.
I mean, I've seen them in the, when I've seen them fucking fish heads and stuff.
Yeah, they kind of hit.
Man, did you see that video when they pulled that turtle off that other turtle? Or you could see a
No.
turtle dick?
No.
First of all, dick wild, it splits. But second of all, I mean, they just straight up interrupted both of them.
Yeah.
I feel like she's close too, It's
Yeah,
hard to
that
get a
don't
lady
hit.
turtle that far.
Y'all have seen that picture that, I don't know if it's real, but I hope it is. It's a Facebook post of some young, hippie type chick, I think, it's a picture of her throwing a turtle into a pond. And the caption says, rescued this little fella from the middle of the road, took him back home, have a nice life, little buddy. And then the top comment on it is, did you really do that? That's a tortoise. Tortoises can't swim.
Oh my God.
Just picked up a perfectly fine tortoise and murdered it.
That's
just tossed it into
that's
the
so
fucking
goddamn
pond.
funny.
Of trying to do good. I think I
Tortoise
brought
got
this up on
fucking raped by a dolphin.
I think I brought this up on the podcast before. That reminds me of I think the first Nissan hybrid car. They had to recall them because the battery was just one of the worst things we've ever produced as humans for the environment.
Right.
Like the battery itself was it was as bad as 100 cars.
Yeah.
Just, the futility of trying to help.
This is a different version of the same thing, but when Sunship started making all their bags out of that highly biodegradable material is much better for the environment. It lasted less than 3 months because all of us fat fucks who like Sunships were like, do y'all realize how much louder these goddamn bags are?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's not quite the same.
No, I'm saying they were trying to do good,
Yeah.
and it was still futile,
Right.
but in a different way.
Right.
But yeah, I was like, these are too loud. Fuck this shit. I can't even watch a goddamn movie.
Man, I bet a monkey meat man is pretty good fucking meat.
I don't know,
Once you get
man.
the ugly right and all the noises, you know what I mean?
You eating a monkey?
I don't know. Everybody's a monkey.
No. Meat. Trey was basically explaining, I think.
Monkey people were butchering animals and making early stone tools and stuff.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah. Well, he's saying a monkey meat man like a monkey butcher.
Like a monkey butcher.
A monkey butcher.
Okay, I thought you said. I bet Monkey Meat Man is good, man. And I thought you was just talking about. I thought you was being all fucking tubular, talking about.
No, I'm
you
talking
wanted
about
to
a
eat
monkey
meat. Yeah,
When I lived in
Queen.
Queens, me and Mike had an Italian butcher. He was super hairy, and I couldn't understand a fucking word he said, and it was great.
How closely do you think?
No, I'm just saying if you got a hairy fucking butcher that you can't understand, dude, I'm 1 for 1.
Putting a monkey into basically any occupation is the thing that hits. You know what I mean?
That's right.
God damn, it's so
I'm
funny.
a monkey sound engineer.
Just a monkey doctor in there with that fucking stethoscope beating you on the chest with it.
Monkey any job it hits.
How close do y'all think? How close do y'all think them Monkey Meat Man resembled just handing DJ a sword? Oh fuck! God damn it! There's a bee on me. It's good. Nope, it ain't gone. Oh, that's a hornet. Don't hit. Okay, it's gone.
The rhythm of that was pretty great. Oh fuck! God damn it! There's a bee on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You could
that's
make
a bar.
Those guys who made that, what'd they call it? Auto-tune the news. Remember those guys?
Yeah.
They got a hold of that. They could probably make something hitting out of it. That clip. Oh, fuck it. God damn it. There's a bee on me. You see how much time we've done? Because we had talked about, and I want to.
46 minutes.
46 minutes. So, yeah, we only got like 15 minutes.
I literally held up 5-5 to Trae. I was like, looked at it, and I was like, that ain't right.
Game of Thrones again.
Yeah. We
But
can
we
do the
said-
game.
we
We can
said-
do it at the end now. So
Which is now.
Sure.
So, like, unlike last time we did in the middle, which was stupid. Hey, fast forward 20 minutes, then come back to us. Now,
Just
if you don't watch Game of Thrones, caught up on it, then thank y'all for joining us.
Yeah.
For everybody else, the last
We've
15
covered
minutes,
enough.
We'll talk
Blue
about
laws. Fuck the Mormons.
woman jacking off, dolphins,
Monkey
fucking
man.
monkey meat man. Goddamn.
What
the
more do
monkey
you
meat
want?
man.
Yeah, we've give it to you.
And if you have seen Game of Thrones, what more do you want? You
Right.
want a recap.
Well, so what? I mean, I'll be putting recaps out. What did y'all think?
I think that it felt like 45 minutes of nothing and then finally something, and that something was me very angry because I didn't care for. I left with a very bad taste in my mouth from the Braun situation. The Jamie thing, like, I don't know. I kind of get it. I feel like he is definitely
Let's see where
right.
that goes.
Yeah,
I think
he can still right. But Braun came in fucking guns a-blazing, and it did not hit for me because I really thought that he was, like you said, immediately just going to be like, I'll fuck Cersei. These are my boys. And I thought that he would handle it in a little bit more diplomatic way. Like, hey guys, this is what she wants me to do. Obviously, I'm not going to do that. How can we work this out? But like, he came in fucking kind of pissed off.
Well, he's
Yeah.
never gone along with Jamie, though.
That's
but
true.
he saved James' life just, not that long ago from that, which was another silly scene. It was rad when Jamie charged at Danny by the dragon
Yeah.
and then he
Yeah.
dove onto it. They're in like ankle deep water on the side of a river and he tackles him off a horse and then they sink 30 feet and come up a mile down the river in the next episode. Remember that?
I remember that.
Well,
I have a complaint in that regard.
Braun was
Also about dragons and
Braun
water.
was a bro. I hated pretty much everything about the Braun thing in particular, yeah, because not only everything Corey said, which I agree with, but it also like it just didn't make any sense. Like it was basically magical how he appeared out of nowhere, but also like his whole thing, it don't really like I don't know. There's no guarantee whatsoever that any of that's going to be honored. Like it just none of it makes.
Well, he said, I'm betting on the dragon lady to win.
I know, but I'm saying like they could just tell him to go fuck himself. Also, she's going to give him High Garden or whatever. The whole thing just didn't really make sense to me. I could see him being like taking that as an opportunity to get the fuck out of King's Landing before it gets roasted, or even going back there, walking in and being like, "Hey y'all, listen to what this bitch said." And
Yeah,
then just
exactly. That's what I figured.
rolling with them as like a part of their crew now.
But then he has to fight.
yeah,
The
but
way
they're
he
not-
did it, it's risky. I could see the move being, I don't want to fight. I'm going to go in here and try to strong arm them into giving me more. It might not work out. They might lie to me. They may not win, but like, I'm a betting man. He said that, and I'm betting on y'all winning, and then you can give me High Guard.
right, but it's like it's also
He's always been an opportunist.
agree to do this or I'll shoot
That's
you.
true, and he's gonna fuck around and die. Is what he's gonna do.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't-
maybe, but
I
that is
would-
what happens to folks like. And by the way, my favorite part of the scene is what he told him about fucking nobility.
Yeah.
Jamie said, you can't be the Lord of Highgarden.
Oh, right.
And, basically you're not fucking
You're an up jump sales store.
Yeah, and how can you be and he basically was like, yeah. And what the fuck were your ancestors?
Right.
Right.
Lannister's
They were a
always
bunch
been somebody good at fighting once. And then he basically said, and he was a killer. And then
of
his
cutthroat.
fuckhead sons, got to inherit all this, which is what he's saying to them, which hit for me. And I kind of liked it when he punched Dinklage.
I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised at all if we don't even see Braun again personally.
Right.
It felt to me like a
Get him out of here.
wrapping him up, but in my opinion, very sloppy fashion. Because I love Braun like a lot of fans do, and that whole thing just did not hit for me.
Yeah,
But then there
I
was
really.
It hit for me.
It did not hit for me.
Then there was also the whole thing with like Euron and killing that dragon and coming
All right,
down. And
here's
like,
what didn't
that's
hit
the
for me
second
at
time
all.
he's done that. Basically snuck up on them in the middle of the ocean out of nowhere. They had just talked about game planning for the Iron Fleet, like in their little strategy meeting, but then no one is like looking. They don't have scouts or
Also,
nothing.
you
like,
can't go behind him with your dragon.
right.
You
Flank
can't
him.
fly so high up like you did with the Night King and then just
Right.
drop straight down and burn them before they can adjust.
Well, hell,
Like,
fuck that. They shot at him and missed, and then she turned. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
she was diving
but
at him.
the turn was part of her making them. I'm fine with that part. But, like, just go around.
Right.
Just go behind their ass.
Flank them and roast them. Also, from Euron's perspective, once he, sunk all the ships and all that, like, how did they get Missandei? What they didn't?
I assume she just floated up on a different part of the beach or whatever. You
Why
know
would
what I
they
mean?
not have like pursued the other one?
Maybe they didn't. Maybe they spread out and didn't know where they went. I mean, that was iffy.
Yeah.
I
But-
could explain it.
But also another major thing for me was at the very end. Y'all fix me if I'm incorrect here. There is no fucking way that Cersei Lannister's ass
Wouldn't have killed them all.
not have, murked every goddamn one of them right there. They were clearly
agree.
within range, at a disadvantage. Tyrion in particular, she just sent Bronn to kill him, and now he's right there. Hear him out if you want, but after that, fucking put an arrow through his.
Which I thought was
goddamn-
what was going to happen.
She would absolutely do that.
Yeah.
Like, there's no universe in which she wouldn't do that.
I agree with
Right.
the Tyrion part. And the other part, I thought maybe it was like the only thing that could reach them. Maybe we were supposed to believe that they were so far back that the only thing that could reach them was those,
Ballista.
the dragon killers. And if you shoot those, you ain't got time to reload before the dragon come kill you. But the Tyrion thing, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It's kind of. I mean, it's just so typical when a show starts wrapping up for people to complain about it because it's not doing it the way they want to do it. But like, there's problems where it's like, this is not. Y'all are better than me.
That's how I feel about most of them. Like
What?
the issues that get brought up is
Yeah.
it's like that's the thing. It's like it just seems so many of them, like the ones we've named in this instance, they just seem like it wouldn't have been that hard to have done it in a different fashion that didn't come across as stupidly.
Yeah.
Like people started bitching a couple seasons ago about how everybody could teleport all of a sudden, like everybody just was popping around like it wasn't nothing. And
Yeah.
at the time, I was like, my basic stance on that was I agreed with the criticism. It was a valid criticism, but I gave them a pass because I was like, well, what the fuck
you
they
gonna
supposed to do? Like they kind of have to do that, and I understand it, and so I'm fine with it. But a lot of this shit this season, I'm the whole time thinking it's like you didn't have to do that way though. Like,
Yeah, I agree. I would be remiss if I didn't point out because this is one I didn't notice, and it's one of those where you like go, "Oh yeah," because I'm not that. But I saw a lot of women tweeting about how they're like, "Yeah, I could tell two dudes wrote this episode because Sansa
Sansa,
just
I know.
lists all these horrible things." Like, yeah, but I'm kind of glad it
She's a
happened because
better-
now I'm cool.
she's a better woman for being raped
Raped.
mercilessly and sold off and all this stuff. Yeah, that was fucking weird.
It's like,
I was,
yeah, you're right.
I was,
No one did that.
Dude, Tyrion saying that shit to Brienne, I thought was weird.
What did he say?
About her being a virgin and like just putting her on, but also she's a highborn lady who's never been married. Like
Yeah, right.
that's like it was a weird thing.
But
to have
she's a
happened.
knight, so maybe he was thinking, well, what about our boy Podrick having a threesome though? That
yeah, I did hit.
Yeah, hot stays hitting.
Yeah, with the Sansa thing, me and my sister actually, she called to us to do our recap, and I always get the female perspective from her. Which, in this instance, as that was happening, I cringed a little bit because I understand kind of what they were going for, but they could have done that without that particular line of dialogue, and it just didn't work, and it felt like two dudes trying to write for a woman, and it was fucking horrible.
Well, let me ask you this: they're clearly, in my opinion, at least setting up a version of, and I don't know if they're going to go full bore with this, but the Mad Queen, like
Oh,
Dany
yeah.
becoming tyrannical or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, dude, to me, like, she's like totally justified in all of these, like the Mad
Most of them,
Queen.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, she's fucking mad too. Like,
Right.
she's been misadvised basically by her people for like 2 straight seasons now. They have fucked her over at every turn.
But roasting who you want to follow you to death, like killing their families, is a very bad first move.
But not by like medieval standards or whatever. Like Tywin and Robert Baratheon and all those guys like laying siege to the castles and all that was just like shit that happened. If she would have
but not with the dragon.
If she would have roasted King's Land or the Red Keep when she first wanted to, compared to now,
right?
Like the casualty,
I agree with that.
You know, and like it's cost her dragons, it's cost her half her armies, and now she's in like a shittier position. Like of course she's fucking about to goddamn lose it. You know, like she should have had this shit on lock, but she's listened to bad advice given by the smartest dude on the show for 2-3 seasons or whatever. It's just, I don't know. I do get it.
I get it.
I get it.
Especially because that was like Cersei put all those people in the Red Keep on purpose.
I know.
I liked that part. Let's talk about parts we did like. I liked Arya's scene with Gendry.
Yeah.
I liked that. It was a callback. I liked her ending up on the road with the Hound. They're both going to do their last fucking thing.
Yeah.
And I'm pumped.
Me too.
God, I'm so pumped about Mountain and the Hound.
Me too.
What else am I pumped about?
I really enjoyed Tormund at the beginning, before he got his heart broke, when he was just getting shit-faced out of that horn and telling jokes and going in. That really hit for me.
Yeah, it did hit for me too. I didn't like that he didn't tell Ghost bye, but I know that was for budget reasons.
Yeah,
but, you know,
the Ghost thing, I mean, very much does not hit for me.
My king.
No, I didn't like that.
They started out, the direwolves were like, they had huge connection with the Stark children, and it was like a big deal.
Right.
And then now Ghost is the only one left, and Jon just basically don't give a fuck about it. And you're right. It's like the CGI is like a problem with
what's Arya's name? Chimera?
Nymeria
left, and the idea was like
she was about to be killed if she didn't run away.
And like that's now Arya's going to run. Like she's not going to hang
Lone
around.
Wolf doing her own thing.
Right. Like it's part of the soul kind of thing.
Right.
Maybe they were doing it like Jon belongs in the North.
Right.
Ghost belongs in the North.
Right.
I don't know.
But
I mean, I think Jon's going to die.
I don't know, but I just like we were talking about last week, like all that being said, I still overall, I love the fucking show. I'm just bitching about things lately but I'm still enjoying it while I'm watching it.
I enjoyed it.
I still love the overall show. It's just, I just feel like they're doing so many things at this point that the show never would have done like earlier on. And which is why they like stand out and are upsetting to me.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yes.
I mean, it's,
well, I'm going to sing Friends in Snow Places. If that's okay with you guys.
Go ahead, buddy.
Are we done?
Are we? Where are we?
Yeah, we're done. We're at 59. So go ahead, sing.
Bring us home, Drew Drop.
You guys want to sing it with me or no? Probably not, right?
I don't
Can't
have
sing.
the lyrics.
Just pull it up on Twitter, boys.
I can't get out of my app on my phone because then this whole thing will fuck up.
All right.
Can't stare at you while
I know.
you do it.
I'm just going to sing alone. This is Brienne of Garth, Friends in Snow Places. Blame it all on my house. I don't wear a blouse. Oath keeper stays in my hand. First one to fight, the last one tonight, in love with a one-handed man. And you saw the surprise and the fear in my eye when a shadow killed my king. So I swore to a Stark both my sword and my heart, and a squire who can sing. 'Cause I got friends in snow places. My sword is huge. Don't call me late or I'll beat you down like I did the Hound. I'm not big on social standing, but Sansa sent me to King's Landing. Call me Sir Brent. Don't call me a lady. Well, the haters were wrong. Said I don't belong. But remember, I beat Lord Tyrell. So before the long night, Jamie made me a knight, and I survived the battle of Winterfell. Hey, I didn't mean to steal every scene, But give me a wood sword and then I'll fight a bear looking hot and short hair. And I'll let Jamie in, 'cause my name's Bren. Don't need you to save me. My sword is huge. Don't call me a lady or I'll beat you down like I did the hound. No, I am a sir. Got me some standing. Me and the crew are going to King's Landing to fuck Cersei up. That ho lady.
That's tremendous.
You guys know this? Woo! Well, I was hoping in the middle of it you guys were going to give me some of the Friends in Low Places background.
Yeah, we really let Jeff dry there. I'm sorry.
That's all right, man. I can be out to dry because I just made everyone cry. There's not a dry listening to the well right
or
now.
a pussy.
Hey!
Hey, that was a Nick DiPaolo joke.
Fucking, I just keep thinking about that lady jacking that dolphin off.
Yeah.
Well, on that.
Thank you all for listening to the WellRED podcast. It once worked good,